What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another Top 10 Tuesday episode. This is episode 96. And for this week, I'm going to dip into my personal favorite top 10 killer spider flicks of all time. Doing this list was quite interesting. I was going through the collection, and I realized I have a lot of spider films. Like, a lot. It's ridiculous how many killer spider films, I don't know why I keep saying killer, spider horror flicks, that was made in the history of cinema. It's ridiculous. Unfortunately, I realized I'm missing The Spider from the 50s. That one's really good. I don't have that movie, so I gotta get my hands on that when I realize, so unfortunately. But without further ado, let's get right into this list. It's pretty self-explanatory. It's spiders. Alright, in at number 10, we're gonna start this one off with a film from 1977 called Tarantulas, The Deadly Cargo, starring Tom Atkins and Claude Atkins. Pat Hinkle. There's actually a few notable faces in this one. I've always stressed I'm a really big fan of 70s TV films, and this is what this is. And, it's really not the greatest film in the world, but it's actually quite fun. There's something about 70s TV horror films that just always seems to satisfy me. I don't know what it is. It's just that feel to them or whatever. But basically what this one is these guys, Tom Atkins, he plays a pilot, and they're flying down to, I believe, South America to make like this coffee bean run. They're gonna flip the beans for some money or something like that. Unfortunately, what they don't know is that there's tarantulas on board. The plane ends up going down in a fiery mess. And the funny thing about this plane crash is that these spiders get away. Somehow they just don't burn up. It's pretty funny. So they start to attack this small village, and there's a couple people that are infected and shit like that, and they basically got to figure out what the hell's going on. It's a ridiculous film. There is actually a lot of films I realize that have this very similar setup, with plane crashes. It's quite interesting. This is not the first time on this top 10 you'll hear this. But Tarantulas Deadly Cargo, it's on the list because it's a 70s TV horror film, and it's pretty fun. It's got some notable faces, and, I like the spiders. It's very cool. So, in at number 10. In at number 9, we have got one also from the 70s, and I believe this one is from 1975, and it is called Kiss of the Tarantula. Now, this one is a little bit different. It's basically about this girl named Susan, who is very odd and strange. She, likes tarantulas and things like that. She comes from a very fucked up family, and she's not very stable herself, to be honest. And basically, she finds out that her mom is plotting to kill her dad, and when she finds out who is set to do the killing, she just fucking loses her shit, and then she goes on a rampage, gets some revenge by using tarantulas to kill people. I've heard people say that this is kind of like a creature feature type Carrie ripoff. In a sense, I guess it would kind of be like that. I mean, but when did Carrie? Is it 75 or 76? Like, they came out around the same time. I think this movie might have came out before Carrie, so that kind of puts that to rest there a little bit. I'm not sure if this came out before, but it's very similar in a sense. But Kiss of the Tarantula, it's very grindhouse type film. It's pretty fun, though. I really do like the film. It's pretty interesting. Check it out if you're into 70s grindhouse, well, apparently spider flicks. So Kiss of the Tarantula, I like it, man. I think it's pretty cool. So that's in at number 9. In at number 8 is one from 2006, I believe, and it's called In the Spider's Web, starring Lance Henriksen. I believe this is part of that Man-Eater TV series collection or something like that. This one's actually pretty interesting, man. It's basically about, I think this one also it's just backpackers set in, they're just backpacking through the jungles and stuff like that. One of the backpackers gets attacked by a spider, so they have to seek out some help. Of course, they seek out help from Lance Henriksen, who plays this, diabolical doctor, and what they don't know is that he's actually the one creating these deadly spiders for a reason. I'm not going to disclose what that reason is, but it's actually kind of cool in a sense. The storyline's actually pretty different in this one. It actually kind of shocked me. The spiders are CG'd in this. But it is what it is, man. It's a TV film. What do you expect? I think it was supposed to play like on the Sci-Fi Network or something like that. So it is what it is, man. Lance Henriksen always does a good job in everything he's in. And I think it's fun. I think the storyline is very unique, especially to this top 10 list, especially. So, but yeah. In the Spider's Web. In at number 8, yeah. In at number 7 is a film from 2003, I believe this came out in, and it's called Arachnia, directed by Brett Piper. Brett Piper, of course, is known for doing very, very low budget films, specializing in like stop motion animation and stuff like that. And that's what you're going to get in this one. You're going to get stop motion animated killer spiders, which is really cool. Most recently, he's done it with Queen Crab and things like that. So if you know who Brett Piper is, you know what you're getting yourself into with Arachnia. Very, very low budget stuff. And this one's actually really funny too. It's because this one right here has something to do with a plane crash also. It's like a group of, I think they're scientists or whatever. They're going on like an archaeological dig. And their plane crashes because of like this meteor storm. And what happens is these meteors, they hit the ground and they conjure up these like ancient spiders. And now it's just a fight for their life. So again, with the plane crash is ridiculous. If it isn't a plane crash, it's a fucking jungle. But Arachnia, really fun stuff though. I really always respect Brett Piper's effects and the hard work that he puts into his films. I know some people can't respect these ones, but I think it's definitely worth the watch if you're big into this type of, you know, not even B, I guess C film, D film, I don't know. But Arachnia, cool stuff, man. I really enjoy that one. In at number 7. In at number 6 is from 1955, and it's called Tarantula. I'm a big fan of these 50s films because they always seem to have something to do with like a mad scientist. This one, the guy, I guess the scientist really isn't that mad in this. He's basically trying to do something good for humanity. He's working on this like growth hormone because the world's population keeps, you know, expanding to the point where he figures they're going to run out of food, so he's using this growth hormone to make animals bigger. And you know, of course, this tarantula that was you know, given this growth hormone escapes from the lab one night and goes on a fucking rampage. So, you know, not the craziest storyline in the world, but such a fun film. I love these old Universal films where they just use like in-house stock music. It's like the same soundtrack to every one of these damn movies. It's so funny. I rewatched this one the other night. It's so much fun. I just absolutely love this film. Black and white goodness. Spider looks ridiculous. It's just so much fun. If you want some old, you know, good sci-fi horror, Tarantula, man, it's really good fun. Really, really good fun. In at number 6. In at number 5 is a Spanish film produced by Brian Yuzna, actually, and it's called Arachnid. Now, this movie, I think, when did this one come out? In 2000, I think this came out in 2003 or something like that also. I think it was 2003. Oh, good itchy nose. But this movie right here really surprised me because, you know, looking at this cover, I would assume that it would be a very CG fest and stuff. This one actually had practical effects in it. It was really crazy. A lot of really cool spider webs and effects, kind of gross out effects and stuff. Who did the effects in this film? Steve Johnson, and apparently he's really, I can't put the name to anything else. I'm sure he's done stuff. People are probably screaming at me right now, but the effects are good in this film. It's really interesting. Yeah, so, yeah, same thing, you know, it's a bunch of scientists that are, you know, they're going to figure out a cure for, like, this deadly virus and things like that in the jungle, and, of course, they come in contact with these monstrous spiders, and, yeah, so they have to figure out how to basically get away from this shit. Very, very simple premise to the film. There's nothing spectacular about the storyline in this at all. It's been a while since I've seen it, but I just really, really remember loving the spiders in this. I thought they were fantastic. So, very big surprise, especially for the time, because, you know, this is when CG films were really taking over. So, Arachnid, give it a shot. Pretty cool. It is a Spanish film, but it's in English. I'm pretty sure it's in English. So, yeah, if I remember correctly. So that was in at number 5. In at number 4 is one from 2002, and it's called 8-Legged Freaks. Everyone knows about this film. David Arquette, Scarlett Johansson. More of a comedy horror film, but it's just so much fun. It's basically about these spiders that get enhanced by toxic sludge or something like that, and then they start wreaking havoc on this small town. It's pretty silly. Of course, it's like every other storyline in this top 10. It's just so much fun. I remember watching this film when it first came out in 2002 and not liking it at all. I hated this movie. I couldn't believe how much I hated it. I don't think I'd seen this until we recently prepared for the 2002 show on my podcast. And so I revisited it, and I thought it was just so much fun. I couldn't even believe how much I liked it. I was expecting to hate it again, and it was actually really fun. I mean, of course, it's just the effects of this film are funny as hell. It totally fits the tone of the film, though. It really does. It's very, very fitting because it's silly. But yeah, a lot of good moments in this, and it's got a pretty young Scarlett Johansson in it. Cool film, though. I do recommend it. I'm sure everyone's seen it watching this, so. But that was number 4. And at number 3... it's another film from the 70s, 1975 to be exact, and it's called The Giant Spider Invasion. This one's ridiculous. It's basically spiders from space. Something to do with black holes in this one, and it kind of sends down these rocks filled with like these tarantulas. I guess what's happening is these black holes are... I don't know. I can't exactly remember what the explanation for is, but it's something to do with black holes. These things kind of meteor down into the earth, and it creates these big giant spiders and shit. Now they just start wreaking havoc. Fucking effects in this movie are so funny. It's like that. It's just so ridiculous. The giant spiders. Actually, I give him props for doing it because they actually like built this massive spider. It's really funny. It's got some really weird tones in it. I think there's like a father kind of stepdaughter relationship thing on. It's fucking strange, but pretty fun stuff though, man. I think the effects, like, the dead bodies and things like that, look pretty gnarly in this, but pretty cool film, man. So much fun. I like the music in it too. It just feels so TV-ish. It's funny. Giant Spider Invasion. Check it out. Very fun film. Another one from the 70s. In at number 3. In at number 2 is, I believe this came out in 1990. Everyone knows this film. Arachnophobia. Just such a creepy, fucking awesome film. Just filled with amazing faces. Jeff Daniels. John Goodman's in this. Who else is in this? What's his name? Julian Sands. Julian Sands is in this film. So really cool cast. John Goodman's actually one of my favorite actors of all time. Probably top 3 for myself. I love everything that John Goodman does. He's just fantastic. Very underrated. Plays the Exterminator in this. Funny as hell. Storyline in this film is actually very simple too. It's just about a foreign spider that kind of hitches a ride back to America and sets up shop in this town where it starts breeding like a motherfucker. Yeah, Arachnophobia. It's just such a good, well-executed film. It's creepy. This motherfucker's long. This is a long film. How long is it? Yeah, there it is. 110 minutes. That's a long movie, man. Holy shit. Like, a lot of these other ones are not even close to that. But, yeah, I mean, everyone has seen this film. We all know about it, so Arachnophobia. In at number 2. And in at number 1, and I'm sure everyone thought that Arachnophobia was my number 1. But I gotta take it back to the 70s in 1977 again, and that is with Kingdom of the Spiders. William Shatner in Kingdom of the Spiders. This movie is just so damn awesome. I fucking love this movie. It's so much fun. William Shatner plays a veterinarian named Rax, and he is investigating like this stock that has been dying off. People's cows and other animals are being killed. Can't figure out what the hell's going on, so they call in this entomologist to figure out what the hell's going on. They finally figure out that what's happening is these farmers are killing off the spiders' natural food with these pesticides. So the spiders have turned to alternate means by killing livestock and killing humans. This movie is just fantastic. There is so many fucking spiders in this film that it's just amazing how many tarantulas they use in this film. And like, there's a scene where this cop's driving up this road and he's like running them over and shit. I'm just like, holy fuck, man. That you would never see that shit in a movie nowadays, because all those wildlife groups and shit would be all over this. It'd be crazy. But what a fucking blast. This movie, I rewatched this again. So much fun. I can't even believe how much fun I had with this again. Absolutely love this movie. I think it's great. There's a good shot of Shatner in the back with a tarantula on his face. That's another thing that blows my mind, is like just how much people are handling these tarantulas. Like, you wouldn't catch me dead handling those fucking things. They're too, I don't know, spiders are not my favorite thing in the world, but if you've never seen Kingdom of the Spiders, check it out. It's just a fantastic, fantastic spider film. So, but yeah, that is going to do it for my top 10. I'll do a quick little recap here. In at number 10, we got Tarantulas from the 70s. Kiss of the Tarantula, number 9 from the 70s also. Number 8, In the Spider's Web. Number 7, Arachnia. Number 6, Tarantula. Number 5, Arachnid. Number 4, Eight-Leg Freaks. Number 3, Giant Spider Invasion. Number 2, Arachnophobia. And of course, we've got Kingdom of the Spiders in at number 1. Yes, what can I say, man? I had to cut a lot of shitty films. I was going through the collection. I came across Camel Spiders, and I was like, oh my god, it was like that Jim Warnowski TV film that was just CG, just a shit, and it's fucking terrible. But I don't know, spider films are just, they're something else. They're so much fun. But anyways, guys, that's gonna do it for the top 10. The video's gone on long enough. We're about 15.5 minutes in. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know down below what your guys' favorite films are. Make sure to check out everyone else's top 10 Tuesday videos. And as usual, peace!